Se questa è l'ultima canzone, poi la luna esploderà. Well, welcome back, Eurovision fam. So we have a lot of
I'm sorry, the rodeo voice got me.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, you guys, we have a lot of internal selections that have just arrived for us in this last week. We're going to be taking a deep dive into 6 of the songs that we had in Eurovision so far this year. And we have a couple news. We're going to talk about a few of the articles that we're going to be seeing come up in about like the next few hours or so. So sit tight and we would like to chat with you on everything.
Yes. All of that stuff. Yeah, welcome again to the Eurovision Fam weekly stream. So just to kind of go over what we're talking about. Oh, he just said everything we're talking about. Let's go ahead and let's just hop into this bad boy with our site articles. What happened on the site?
So, coming up in just a little bit, you guys, there's going to be an article that I wrote called The Diversity That We Can See and Hear at Eurovision 2023. Basically, this article is about kind of the ways that the Eurovision Song Contest is not anymore just exclusively a European-centric zone. Now we see people from all walks of life enter the stage and how wonderful that truly is for television and the contest. Hi, Larindi. It is fabulous to see you again. Welcome back.
Whoa,
This is not sponsored by Sony, by the way. So.
Oh, it's a PlayStation shirt. Okay.
It's a gay station shirt.
Ooh, gay station.
Yeah. Sony pride. But anyways.
What's the gayest PlayStation game? Final Fantasy X-2. I already answered it for you, baby.
Well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts is right behind, but
Kingdom Hearts is pretty gay.
Right behind, but yeah. So, what else happened on the site? Am I missing anything? Because I just talked about my article.
We have some. We are going to be seeing some interviews going up shortly.
Yeah.
You can already watch them on Alicia's channel. She did interview Dvorchi and Vesta. Both competing this year, so we'll be seeing those articles up soon as well. And I should have a video up on the site soon too.
We also spoke with Chris Harms from Lord of the Lost. If we want to get some of the perspectives of Germany and Serbia, of course, on their participation in Eurovision this year, we have an exclusive chat with them.
And Mimi Cat.
So we also have Mimi Cat. Oh my gosh!
We've got a lot on the site, but those are older interviews that we just went ahead and reposted to kind of hype them up a little more because they're officially going to Eurovision now.
Finally, yeah.
So let's go ahead and let's talk about some of those internal releases we got this week.
Yes.
Let's start with that. Like we'll go in like chronological order. So we'll start with Azerbaijan.
Well, I feel like it's been a million years since we got that song. Is it just me?
It's been a week. Like
it's literally been a week, but I feel like it's been so long. Okay, so you guys, it's not popular in the fandom. It's just not popular, and neither Lili or I really understand why.
I understand why, because the fandom is boring. Like they have.
I love it. I like it. Azerbaijan, I like it.
The Eurovision fandom has a very particular taste. This is the same opinion I have about people who are like calling this like a really, really bad year. It's like, is it a bad year or is it a year where we're getting more musical diversity and you have a very specific taste in music and you don't like anything outside of that genre you like? Like we all know we're going to be talking about a song that's in a genre I'm not personally a fan of, but like I have a wide range of music I enjoy. I always like, I don't know, like I'm one of those people, like I don't comprehend how people are like, oh, I only like this music. I'm like, why? But yeah, like we got Terren X and their song Tell Me More, and I like it. Like I think it's very reminiscent of like the 90s for me. It has a very distinctly 90s sound to it, which I think is a good choice to go with when it comes to going to Liverpool. I mean, at least for me, like I have a touchstone of in the 90s, that's when we got our second British invasion, at least in the States when it comes to pop music. And the song, it's giving me like Sixpence None the Wiser. Their song Kiss Me kind of mixed with the what are they called? Oh my gosh, what's the name of that band? Two Princes by the Spin Doctors.
Oh wow,
like the two songs. It kind of feels like a fusion of, but like it's interesting, and it's like I don't really think I've heard something a lot like it before.
Yeah, piggybacking off of the 90s comment that you said, it's the phone call meets the turntable song at like a turntable sound at the beginning, like in the first 15 seconds of the song, you hear my cat screaming in the hallway. That is just so reminiscent of the 90s, and it is the melody too.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about the melody that feels Liverpool to me. I do get what you mean, like it feels like second British invasion. You can tell almost that we are heading into a city that was kind of the hot spot where the Beatles got started, just based on how this song was constructed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like I've heard people comparing it to the Beatles, but the Beatles feel too old.
Mm.
Maybe a little Oasis-y. A touch of
Mm-hmm.
Oasis.
Yeah, I,
Which
I
is
can
again
definitely
part of
see
that
the
second
Oasis.
British invasion.
Mhm.
Larendi says Azerbaijan feels okay, but it's not a strong song for ESC specifically. Other than that, the song seems like a warm morning. See,
Okay,
that's like
yeah.
how I would describe a lot of what Portugal does, though.
Mm.
And yet people like that. Maybe we need to stop thinking of things as being Eurovision-y, but
Hmm.
I know what you mean with that because it doesn't really feel super competitive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, I still really enjoy it as a song. Like another one, like Georgia, Irao, ethnic jazz or
2018.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love that song, but it didn't really feel competitive.
Hmm.
Even if this is from Saul Brown, even if you don't love Azerbaijan this year, you got to respect that it's not generic Nordic pop song and it's a genuine authenticity, which is unusual for Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very authentic, extremely authentic, and you can tell that it does not have that kind of Scandinavian polishedness about it. It's not necessarily trying to be that.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And this is from Vanya Lubich. Listening to the recap made me realize how much musical diversity we have this year.
Mhm.
Azerbaijan and Greece are underrated this year. I really enjoy those songs.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, no,
Well, look at that.
yeah, like so. It looks like you're getting a lot of appreciation here.
Mhm.
Let me see here. Oh, other comments just coming in here. Georgios Papadopoulos says Azerbaijan is cute, but I don't think it will qualify. Even though we know
Mm.
Azerbaijan knows how to get those votes.
Will they
Um,
know how this year with 100% televote? I mean, how many SIM cards? Well, I don't know the logistics of that,
a lot
but
of SIM cards. Yeah, no, I think honestly, it's cute. That's my concern. Is like it's cute, but will it qualify? I feel like
yeah.
Azerbaijan right now is in a position where I see Portugal a lot of the time, which is I like this song, and if it were up to me, it would be in the final. But
Mhm.
it's not only up to me.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, you know what I mean?
from the standpoint of understanding kind of just the bigger viewing tastes, it's probably not going to qualify. That's just flat out probably what's going to be the truth. But it's still very like I think it's quite nice. And Larindi did mention it feels like a warm morning. I completely agree with that. There's just a lot of comfort that I get within the song, and that's because it's not really trying to compete per se. It's just an artistic expression.
Exactly. Augusta Dominguez says Azerbaijan is nice. That's all I can add. Feels very British but authentic to the twins, and that's that.
Mm,
Honestly, anytime Azerbaijan sends a song that feels authentic to the artist, I take that as a win. It's
yeah.
only happened one other time before that I can think of, but like it feels like a win.
Mhm.
It feels like a win when they send something that's like not.
Yeah, yeah, especially because this is like kind of the year of uh, authenticity, or as we're trying to like look at songs through a more artistic lens, then authenticity quite does matter a lot. So from that perspective, I do really appreciate it.
I say we're in the era of authenticity more.
Mhm.
And like some countries are kind of struggling to find that authenticity after they did so well in the era of plastic.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel and Azerbaijan's one of those countries that's always been in that had kind of a struggle with authenticity. I feel like
Yeah, Fade to Black was literally about nothing.
I what is that song about? It's about I still defend my statement. It's about being in a relationship with a woman with a chronic migraine problem.
I forgot you said
It's
that.
super niche. But that's enough about Azerbaijan. Let's talk about one of their neighbors, Armenia.
Mhm.
So we got the song from Armenia. this week.
Uh-huh.
What do we say about that?
So, this was so unexpected. Let me just say, when I heard this for the first time, it was kind of like that Nicki Minaj meme. Like, you won't get it the first time around. Like, second or third time, you'll be like, "Whoa." That's exactly what happened. Like, I listened to it the first time, and I was like, "I don't understand what just happened." And then I listened
Mm-hmm.
to it again, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Wait, this is this is dense. This has a lot of layers to it, and I am invested. I'm invested, invested, invested." What do you think?
I am in love with Future Lover by Brunette.
Yeah.
This is so good. I got it the first time, baby. I got it
Oh.
the first time. Immediately, I was like, yes, this song is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like it feels like people keep calling it a rap part.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that's not rap, baby. That's spoken word.
It's spoken word. Very,
It is
very
straight up
big
spoken word just
difference.
put to
Let us
music.
educate you. Let us educate you on the difference.
Like that's basically a spoken word slam poem.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's a
that's
slam
what's happening
poem
there.
with okay, like I think I can understand a little bit of the perspective of rap because her diction is kind of Marshall Mathersy, you know? Like in like a couple seconds here and there, her diction is reminiscent of that of Eminem. So that might be why people kind of like say, "Oh, this is a rap," but I do see that section of the song as poetry,
Mm-hmm.
and it fits. It
Yep.
really fits. Spoken word can be very hard to include in songs, but when it's a big element like that, I expect it to be well written, and I so far I'm getting that so far.
Yeah, like it's one of those ones that like as a song standing there, it just like the way that the harmonies work with the main vocal where it kind of just works as an emphasis on
Mhm,
certain words and certain lines. This every single thing with this song was put in place for a reason and it shows.
mhm,
But it still has an effortless bit of cool to it.
mhm. And I also love how like the chorus when she's singing it like like there's kind of a dissonance within the
Yeah.
harmony and melody that feels unresolute, but at the same time you need that kind of unrefinedness to the tune of it that gives it kind of its artistic identity. Amazing. It was mind-blowing, honestly.
Okay, so Carmen says the chorus is catchy, instrumental is amazing, and she looks gorgeous.
Welcome back, Carmen.
Check, 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 all of that.
Check, check, check,
A
check, check, check.
100%. And I
Triangle,
see a
circle, X
comment.
square. Yeah.
I see a comment here from Nindo. I'm sorry, Ninolo.
Ninolo.
I'm in love with with the Armenian song. It feels like it's going to be grand slash epic on stage. Yes.
They can
Like
stage.
there are songs I cannot stand Love Wave. Like in studio, I hate Love Wave. Like I don't want to hear it. I don't want to think about it if it's in studio. But live, I am in love with Love Wave live. So like that's where I'm at now because I
Yeah.
love the song in studio, but I know live it's gonna be better because Armenia does that so well.
Mhm.
Fly With Me was another one where I like the studio cut of Fly With Me, but live they elevated that to another level. Like
It
this,
it was
like
divine when it was live, yeah.
Armenia knows what they're doing with staging,
Mhm,
and they know how to take a song and make it really shine on stage.
mhm. And, like, you can weirdly feel the JESC staff, like, within just kind of the way that this song was put out, you could tell that some of the people with their Junior Eurovision songs in mind were seated at the table. There's just a way of the approach to it, and it feels so professional.
Yes. Vanya Lubitsch says Armenia is lovely. The video is visually appealing. Hope they'll be able to replicate it on stage. I always root for Armenia and GL. They are my stand country. They are my stand country low key.
They're so standable.
I understand it. I see. Like I'm in my current. I don't know what my stand country is. I guess Portugal.
Mhm.
Right. So I'm sorry. I'm looking here. All right, I'm just looking at other comments. So Georgios Papadopoulos says, I'm actually happy that it's not a bop. I like that they surprised us with a unique song. I don't know. This is something I want to kind of talk about too with the bop. A lot of people seem disappointed that this wasn't a girly bop song. And I'm like, do y'all not listen to people's like discographies?
Yeah, 'cause,
Like,
pe
do you guys not go back and listen to what the artist produces before? I do.
Mhm. And I mean, sometimes, like a lot of the time for artists, the songs that are hits, they don't really have a personal connection to. because it just doesn't tell an adequate enough story for their for how they would like to tell it. This, it feels so authentic in terms of well, I mean, not all of the lyrics are directly by Brunette herself, as we've come to understand, but
Yeah,
it tells a very accurate story, and it feels genuine as it comes out.
exactly. And like there's lines about smoothies. I mean, I already know I love a smoothie.
Hmm.
I love a smoothie. So
So do I. Yeah.
yes. So I'm gonna just highlight this comment from Lorendi to kind of add to their transition.
Hmm.
Armenia is equal to Georgia for me. Both seems both seem to go into a poem / spoken word, and both are struggling a little bit with the lyric. Other
Mm.
than that, they are really interesting, and it takes the final takes and final qualifiers.
Mm. Hmm.
Yeah, I highlighted that because you mentioned Georgia.
Hmm.
And we're gonna go ahead and talk about Georgia now,
Yeah.
because let's talk about Georgia. Iru released the song Echo.
Hmm.
Do you want to start with your feelings about Echo?
Echo, yeah. So, the production is stellar. The melody is memorable. I pretend there are no lyrics. I pretend I'm hearing zero words.
The words don't matter here.
The words,
It,
they really don't. Like, the
they're just
entire
extra.
song around the lyrics sounds amazing.
That's the thing, is like sometimes lyrics don't matter, and this is one of
Yeah.
those situations where those are just sounds that
Yeah.
are adding. It's kind of like, imagine if this wasn't in English and you couldn't
Mm.
understand the lyrics. You just like, oh, this is just
You would
really
just
good.
be bopping. Like, high key, hardcore, you would just be bopping. But the lyrics are in English.
Yeah, they are. I don't pay attention to them. I don't
So,
need to.
and we kind of hit a fork in the road there.
I don't know. I love this though. Like this is
Hmm.
what I wanted
Hmm.
from Georgia for
Yep,
so
finally.
long.
Finally. It like we haven't had something like this since Visionary Dream. I would say that is the last time we've had kind of like upfront, upbeat Georgian style percussion in kind of like a belty pop song.
And like you
Not
mean
even just
in
pop.
adult Eurovision, in
An
adult
adult
Eurovision.
Eurovision. What the heck?
I
It's
honestly,
taken so long.
I what have I been saying? I want Junior Georgia at adult Eurovision. I
You
got a
literally
junior
got that.
artist.
You literally got that.
I got two junior songwriters on this. This song, Iru helped write Georgia's song from Junior this year, from Junior 2022. And like,
Brilliance. That is brilliant.
like the songwriter, I can't remember his name, but he's written a lot of Georgian Junior songs. And it's like, finally, finally,
you
Georgia.
you just have to get some of these like people who are in charge of the kids at the adult table.
And
Come
we
on.
got it.
That's where the wisdom is a lot of the time. And I mean, people are having those right talks. France has been on that correct page for so long.
Barbara. She's not allowed to leave that basement ever again.
When's the last time she saw sunlight? Écoutez-moi. Okay.
Sorry.
That's enough. All right, all right.
All right, let's
So,
see here. Lorendi says Aurora meets Billie Eilish. They both forget about the lyrics. Also, she has some of her own distinct flavor in her voice.
yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
like
her
that
voice is
comparison
so powerful. But yeah, so sorry.
I like that combination of Aurora and Billie Eilish there for
Mhm.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually I think that would be the most accurate representation, I would say, like within modern music context.
All right. Georgios Papadopoulos says Georgia's in my top 10. I'm happy they served. I have high expectations, and they served exactly the song I thought and hoped they would. Please continue to use your junior team, Georgia.
Exactly. Literally that.
Literally
Literally
that.
that.
Literally that. 100% that. Like, I
Yes,
can't.
Georgios. That's a gold star comment right there.
So accurate. So true. Carmen, I was captivated when the music video came out. Georgia just has to replicate it on stage.
Okay, that music video, are you like the still shots that we got? Art.
Yes.
Art. It's just
Yes.
it is like the Junior Eurovision song from last year's Georgia. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
need to dissect it from an academic perspective. It is just un it is just unrelenting art, and that is, I hope it's well reflected in Liverpool because Georgian style art I think is just magnifique.
Every frame of painting.
Hmm.
Every frame.
Hmm.
Sorry. And then let's see here. just real quick, I'm finding a little bit. Barbara's been stuck in that basement since 2019.
She's been trying to stuff a beam bomb boom out of that door, but I mean,
she's never gonna beam bomb boom her way out.
Nope.
Never.
R.I.P. But anyways, from Georgia. We have poll results. Yeah.
So guys, we ran a poll. Which song released this week is your favorite? I talked on Greece when I did the poll just because their song got released right before we streamed last week. And the results are in. And I don't know how I feel about these results, but
tell us about the results.
So in last place, Azerbaijan got 6% of the vote.
No.
Yeah. You can only vote for your favorite though, so you know what? Maybe it's just everyone's second favorite. And third place, we got Greece with 14% of the vote.
All right.
Georgia is in second place with 31%.
Wow, what a jump.
And then Armenia had 48% of the vote.
Woof, almost half. Brunette, you hear that?
So this was a woman domination poll. This was ladies take the wheel and control it poll. But yeah, that's kind of how our subscribers and other people. I should really, if you're somehow watching this and you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you watch
give us
this
a like
and you take the polls, subscribe, guys. Come on. Because we got, I want to say there was over 1,000 votes in that poll.
Dang. is that our biggest result for the site?
That's the most we've had over in a poll. Is over 1,000.
Oh, that makes me feel so warm inside.
Yeah, so I'm like, come on guys, let's get some subscriptions out of y'all.
Yeah, subscribe.
So yeah, anyways, from our poll, let's go ahead. We're gonna get into our actual song reviews now.
In depth.
So if you don't know this is basically what's going to occupy our streams for the next until Eurovision basically, which is we're going to go through and talk about different songs and whatnot. So today we had a theme, and there was a person who commented on the poll, which was, what is the theme of this week? Is it mediocre men who are going to be taking a spot away from a woman in the final? And I was like, that's a little vicious. I was just going for male solo singers.
Male solo singers. Yes, that was when we were building the category. That was
category is male solo singers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other men who are soloists who I didn't put in this category, and we're gonna get to this. So, we're talking about Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Denmark, and Serbia.
And Switzerland.
Yes. I forgot about Remo for a second. I'm sorry. But yeah. So that's kind of what our category is.
Yes.
And we are gonna be going over our rating scale. Do you want to talk about what our criteria are for these?
Yeah, you guys. So, if you remember from last year, we analyzed the songs based on 5 criteria. So the 5 criteria that we analyzed the songs by are lyrical content. So we take a look at the lyrics of the song and talk about that, production and genre. So we discuss those things in the context of the 3 minutes. Unique elements. So is there anything in the song that sets it apart from the other entries in the lineup? How well can it be performed live? That point would more or less apply to songs that we've heard performed already live. And the last point is, would we stream the song? So that kind of reflects our personal taste and whether or not we would consume the song privately.
Yeah.
So with that said, we are starting out with the host country from last year, Italia. Marco Mengoni with Due Vite.
If it wasn't obvious, I mean, Jordan gave you a hint at the beginning of the screen. So let's start with lyrical content, shall we? Do you want me to go? I'll go first because I thought
you go first.
This is a song about a relationship that does not need to be happening. It's got big. What was it? My sister was giving me a deep dive into Krayshawn Rock and Blueface drama last night.
Oh,
and this.
Oh my goodness!
That's what this is.
Oh my.
Lyrically,
goodness.
This is what that song. This is that song. That relationship is this song. And it is toxic. It is mutually abusive. But it's the language used is so poetic.
Why did you say Krishan and Blueface? That
Is that
is
all you're gonna be able to think about now? I'm so
not
sorry. I'm just
Vite. Oh
thinking
my
about it
god.
because like I got the deep dive of that. I'm like, I had no idea what they were, who they were until last night. Yeah. These are two people who do not need to be near each other, and yet they still end up going at each other. But like it's like I've seen this. Okay. Like if this is a book, I would pick up the book and read it.
Yeah.
Because I do enjoy some relationship drama as long as I'm not involved in it.
A communication system that's defined by anger and rage and
It really
isolation
is.
and miscommunication. Like that's the flavor of discussion between Marco and his lover within this song. It's very good though. I mean the lyrics, they're really well constructed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make toxicity seem so lovely. Oh, that sounds
Italian does
horrible.
that. Italian really does that though. Because I mean, Brividi wasn't that like it wasn't that
Brividi was
lovely.
also a relationship. Like, I need an adult to step into the situation right now. I mean, legally everyone's an adult, but we need an adult to like to get in here and make sure separation right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's well written. That is like the number one point I would like to make about Dua Vita's lyrics. Like the composition is very well done in terms of the language and the execution of the story. 100% love it.
Yeah. Like I honestly I like the lyrical content of this one. Let's talk about production and genre. It's a piano-driven ballad. It's a piano-driven man ballad. The song is it's really well constructed and like it has that Italian wordiness to it. So when you're listening to it, the way the words are sung adds like an extra percussive quality and like another layer of rhythm. And I like how like everything, the instrumentation falls off during the transitions from like chorus to everything, like from the verse to the chorus, the pre-chorus to the chorus and stuff like that, because it kind of emphasizes that last line in a way that's like you just said something really messed up and now we gotta like sit in silence for a second before the music picks back up again. I think that makes it a really like effective way to make the song emphasize things.
Yeah, I agree. This is, well, I mean, yeah, Italian man ballad. This is something that we definitely do hear in San Remo every year. But the thing is with Marco Mengoni, typically his production is very good, very polished, and his writing is very good, very polished. This song, I really do like the elements of tension and release it has because the beginning chords are they're very enchanting. The dun 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 dun, like it kind of gets you invested, and having those chords kind of like sprinkled throughout as we build up tension and then let go of it and are left back kind of in the feeling of kind of what Marco was saying, just like standing in a crowd as people are walking by, you get that essence again, and it kind of reflects that loneliness. And all it is just like using piano as opposed to like a lot of instruments again. That's painted very, very well. And yeah, like I have a lot of good things to say about the production, but I mean it's professional. Of course, it's a Marco Mengoni track. There's not anything really I would imagine I would be disappointed with in terms of production.
Yeah. And I agree with that. Like I really think. Yeah, I do agree with that statement there. So unique elements is the next category. For me, there really aren't any unique elements. I think there's not really anything about this song that makes it super different than anything I've heard before. Other than, I mean, Marco has a gorgeous voice, but I've heard other music by him that also has him in his gorgeous voice.
Yeah.
Like there's not really anything to it, like personally that I'm clinging to. And going, ooh, what's that? What's happening there? That makes it interesting. Yeah.
For me, I think the unique element is this. Okay, so I'm looking at it through the context of the other 36 songs. And with that in mind, this is the only song in the lineup that kind of reflects Eurovision's heyday of the pre-millennium in a way. And that's because it's a more classic ballad. That sets it apart from the rest of the crowd because we don't have any more classic ballads, especially by male singers that are decidedly not in the pop direction. Yeah, this is unique in that it has a timelessness about it,
Okay,
I
yeah, I
would
can see
say.
that. I can understand, like, in the context of this year, that definitely does make it stand out because we don't really have anything else that this is directly competing with, I feel
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next category is how well can it be performed live?
Um, it can be performed very well, but the thing is, I need the mixers in Liverpool to keep the song in his range.
Mm,
Because in San Remo, I feel like they tuned his thing out of his range, and you could see him looking up at the booth like, "Why is this out of my range?"
mhm,
And he was, like, screeching for a couple sections of it.
mhm.
They just need to put it in his range because he's an amazing vocalist.
I think what it is also San Remo's live. Like, the music
Mhm.
is live, you've got the live orchestra.
Yeah.
So, like, the arrangement maybe have been like, "What's happening?" Because that's not like the booth. That's not the booth's fault. That's, like, whoever
That's
did
the
the compos
pit. That's the
that's the
pit.
pit. No, not even the pit. That would be whoever composed it for orchestra. Like,
Oh,
when you're
okay.
going through, um but, like, if it's studio and he sings it well in studio, there's no like, he has the backing track on it, so it's not like
Mhm,
the booth is gonna do if the booth does anything to that track, he gets to re-perform it. You know what I
mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
Because at that point, it's playback. Yeah, so I would say that'd be more of an issue with, like, the arrangement, um, with
He's
the
an
live
excellent live
arrangement.
vocalist, though, like
He is an excellent vocalist, and I know it can be performed well live
Mhm.
because it came through a national final. That's the
Yeah,
benefit of coming through a national final. We know it can be performed live.
absolutely.
Now, here's the next question.
Would we
Would you stream
stream?
it live? Would you stream it?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like the song.
It's not for me personally.
Dun, dun,
Um,
dun.
but like it's one of those things that it's not like I have anything negative to say about it.
Mhm.
It's just like it's not my personal like it's not something I would personally listen to.
Yeah,
But I do
yeah.
see the artistic merit in it.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I'm just looking
And,
at some comments.
when we look at it in the Eurovision Grand Final, who knows, right?
Yeah. Because there's a difference between I enjoy this when it's on live and I'm
Mhm.
gonna sit here and stream it. I've already mentioned my hatred of Love Wave in studio,
You say you say that, like, every 6 streams or so.
but like it's one of those things where I love it live. I will sit there and
Mhm.
I'll watch that whole performance live, but I'm not gonna stream that song.
Mhm. It's
Like,
because
that's
the
just
visual element to it, like, it's a completely different dimension.
it's a totally different experience.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm just gonna highlight some comments. Vanya Lubitch says Italian in a toxic relationship, peak poetry.
Why is that? It's just like, y'all need therapy, but you are writing bars.
Maybe the bars they're writing is their therapy.
Oh.
Carmen says my country will give lots of points to Italy if we go to the final because the sound it's a sound we are familiar with. I don't like the song, but it's not my favorite. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna highlight this. Georgios Papadopoulos says, I mean, we know the vocals from Italy would be better than last year.
Yeah. That was that was odd. When I, like, watched that final back the second time, I was like, "Damn, you boys didn't rehearse at all." But that's beside the point. I know Marco was going to be nice and warmed up, and I know that, like, he probably has talked with everyone who's been in charge of arranging his audio to be like, I this is my range."
Yeah. Also, like, it happened last year. Did they?
Woo. They I have a lot I can say about the final performance of Brividi last year, but we're setting that aside.
Did it still come top 10?
It was 6 plates still, yeah.
There we go. Italians
Whew.
can just show up
Mhm.
and they'll get a good placing. Right. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Switzerland now.
La Suisse, okay.
The song is called
Watergun.
Watergun, and it's by you say his name because you say it better than me.
Remo Forer. I'm guessing it's the Italian pronunciation, you guys. It could be a German pronunciation, a
Or
Romansh
French.
pronunciation, or a French pronunciation. I don't know. I'm just saying Remo because Remo is just such an Italian word. With that said, lyrical content. Let's dive into that. What do you think about the lyrics?
Um,
Sorry. I'm
don't
sorry.
laugh at me. I was
I'm
looking for something
sorry.
nice. Um, there aren't a lot of words,
Mhm.
but the ones that we do have a critique of the toxic masculine fetishization of war that you
Ooh,
get in
yeah.
youth.
Mhm.
I would say this is let's take All Quiet on the Western Front and condense it down to a 3-minute song.
Oh my gosh. I don't. Okay, so All Quiet on the Western Front. I do not think our European viewers would have read that in school.
Yes, they
Like,
would. It's originally a German novel. It's
oh,
originally written in German.
my English teacher did not ever mention that.
I'm pretty
Weirdly.
sure it is. Hold on. Hold
Oh
on.
my goodness.
I
But
might be wrong. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's originally in German.
I mean, I do get why you say it's very All Quiet on the Western Front because it's just like it's about new trauma from war. Is
Yes,
what
it's
this
originally in German. I'm right.
dang.
Im Westen nichts Neues. It's originally in German.
Well, All Quiet on the Western Front, you guys, is
Sorry.
it,
I got excited because I was right.
it's a story about a young individual's experience in war and kind of receiving trauma. That's kind of like the big message that I got from it when I read it like 10-ish years ago. It's been a while, but
They did another movie of it that's pretty good if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix.
okay. I will have a
and
look.
it's in German.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. But yeah, what I was saying is that this song it's reflecting on growing up and realizing kind of the the world that we live in isn't always nice, and for some people they are going to have to combat against the people they love. It seems odd. I don't know. I feel like the lyrics for this song just kind of throw everything off because
Yeah.
it's a song about war in a year where we're deciding, okay, like this year, I feel like we're trying to separate ourselves from the context of conflict and war to have a Eurovision that's just pure fun. And this is providing a contrast to that philosophy this year. This is a song from Switzerland about war. When's the last
Thank
time
you.
Switzerland competed in a war? Not competed,
18,
but fought in a
I want
war.
to say 18. I looked it up. I want like
Was it
8.
Prussia? Like I don't
No,
know.
it
I'm
was like
bad
the
with European history, you guys.
1860s.
Okay. And with the that'll bring me into something that I do want to bring up in the next point: production and genre. The 1860s aspect.
Oh no, I'm wrong. 1848? Yep, 1848.
Yeah. Okay, 1848. So that was over 170 years ago when Switzerland was last in a war. I am just generally curious about why the Swiss broadcaster decided to make this young man from their country sing a song about war trauma. It's just it hits a weird note for me.
Yeah,
and I
it's
don't.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Like it's like if this was coming from. No, because I don't want to go too dark because I was reading some dark stuff the other day. It feels weird coming from Switzerland. I think that's what it is. It's like it's just like you're Switzerland. Like you're Switzerland. You're famously neutral. But that being said, there they have he's been. I would assume he's been conscripted, but like.
But once again, like I took a look at when Swiss people are conscripted, they typically only use one kind of like single shot rifle, and it's usually for a target that's like made of like plastic or foam or whatever that is.
Yeah,
it's not shooting at a person, and it's not learning how to aim for the purpose of learning how to kill. That's not why they necessarily learn how to do that. It's for the purpose of defending the country, but they're not seeking ways to eliminate targets. That is war, and this song is about war. It's just very confusing to me, and it feels kind of out of touch, and what's the word I'm looking for? Tone deaf. It feels very tone deaf.
That's what it is. It's because like when I compare it to All Quiet on the Western Front, I do think that there's a certain level of what people do who are not from places that have had conflict recently, which is fetishize kind of like war and going to war and being a war hero and everything. And there is that certain level of, okay, I can get that sentiment, but like it just comes off as a little weird to me.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain, but it's just like, it's really, it's really weird to me. You know what I mean? It's like he read that book, or whoever wrote the song read that book and was like, I want to write a song about this book, or what it's like to go through this experience in the book. But it comes off very much as I've written this from a distance rather than an experience. And we're in this phase of authenticity at Eurovision, so that looking at it from a distance thing doesn't work.
Yeah, it feels disjointed, and from some perspectives, it could even feel inconsiderate. So that is just something of concern that I would like to raise about the lyrics. But let's go ahead and move on to production and genre. There's something kind of interesting happening within the production that I do want to highlight. Because this is a song about going into war, there's kind of like a marching kind of like rhythm to it that fits very nicely within kind of the theme of going to war. It feels weird saying that. It feels really weird saying that, but
I heard it too, and I notated it as well. Like that little marching drum bit, I think that really does do a lot to sell it. Because like if you're listening to it's another piano-driven man ballad. But the piano part is very pretty. It's got the softness to it.
Yeah, it's
It
gorgeous.
almost feels like you're warming up for ballet. You know what I mean? With the
like I love it. Like those beginning chords, it's excellent. I really think it's very pretty.
And there's a good build. Like the whoever wrote this, like as far as like the music goes, is excellent. But like it comes off very the music is good. I'm not gonna lie. But then and then you have that little drum beat coming in. It's giving you a very again, I hate to it works for me because it kind of works as a transition between you know what? I have a new theory about this song. Whoever wrote the lyrics in the song, they had to do a book report, and they're writing a song like this is like the book report project. Because like
it feels like a book report project. Oh my goodness! Think of,
and I keep mentally I keep going back to World War I specifically. Because that's where you get your transition from that's your transition to modern warfare and total, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Where like technology suddenly became something that decided the outcome of violent war.
Exactly. And like that drum march kind of goes back and echoes back to that period where people were still like romanticizing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely like the age of cannons.
Yeah, because it's like, how many marches did I have to play in band? Like, how many marches did I have to play? Too many.
Oh.
Like, in fact, every competition you had to play at least one march.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I never played an instrument in high school, so I do not have that experience. I was a theater kid, so yeah, take with that what you will.
But I've been in the pit.
When you were in the pit, I was on the stage singing as fast as I could. But where are we? Okay, unique elements within this song. I don't think within this song, but this might be the first song in Eurovision that mentions a gun in the title.
Is it the first song that mentions a gun in the title? I'm now kind of going through thinking.
Right? I mean, I really struggle to find something unique in this song, just because I intentionally did listen to it like 2 times before jumping on stream with these questions in mind, and I still kind of struggle to find that unique, significant thing that sets it apart.
I mean,
for me, it's the fact that like the lyrics are kind of whack. That is the unique element to me.
I did write there aren't really any. The song could have been made by One Republic 15 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, even the piano chords at the beginning, honestly. But like we could just be missing something completely different, you guys. If you notice something very unique in the song, please do tell us, because we need to pick up on that.
All right, and then how well can it be performed live?
No clue. No,
he can sing live.
He's got
a great voice. Like I want to make that clear. I think Remo has a gorgeous voice, like just beautiful voice. It's just like it feels like every song I've heard him sing has been wasted. Like his voice has been wasted on. You know what I mean? Like, because he has a good voice that I feel like could affect me but like I'm not hearing that effect happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And then would you stream it?
No.
Nope. Yeah. No.
Okay, merci la Suisse.
Okay, I'm just looking here. Okay, here we go from Georgios Papadopoulos. I mean, Switzerland is good. It even kind of has a catchy soldier that sticks in. You know, that does stick in your head.
Yeah.
It kind of, that part specifically makes me think of all the things that I've done by the Killers. Okay, you know what? I love that Sam album. I will defend that album to my dying breath. It kind of like, and that's a song from like 2006. Oh my gosh, I'm aging myself. And it kind of does the same kind of like a repetition of like the word soldier, because there's a really rhythmic quality of that word, I feel like. So yeah, that I would agree that's catchy. Like that vocal hook is very catchy there and it sticks in your head.
Yeah.
That sticks out, but do we need this in the final? Not really.
Yeah.
I agree with that one. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Lorendi says collective European fear of anxiety of the war in Ukraine with Ukraine and Russia. Okay, that makes sense. I can see like a collective fear, but not an experience.
Yeah, that does make sense within that frame.
Yeah. And it looks like Hugo Martinez reconfirms that part with we don't want war nor Ukraine in the. Okay, you know what? We don't want war, but we do want Ukraine in the contest.
Yeah, we want Ukraine every year, baby.
Ukraine brings it. I'm sorry.
Every year.
You sound bitter.
But all right. I think we can go ahead and move on from Switzerland after Carmen's comment.
I just like Remo's voice, and I do not skip it when it comes on.
Gorgeous voice.
His voice is so nice. Yeah. Like even listening to his back catalog, I just feel like I want someone. I either want him to get I want him with a team who can give him something to really make his voice shine. That doesn't just feel like a song. I would love to have that because I really do like his voice a lot.
It just needs expression. It needs to find its mode of expression that's just it fits for him.
It's like, how do I phrase this? And I don't mean to sound mean when I say this. I promise. This is the best way I can think of how to explain it, which is it sounds like he's singing cover.
I can definitely see that. Yeah. Oh wow, it does. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
All right, and from here, do you think we can go ahead and move on to Cyprus?
Yeah, we can go ahead. We can definitely go ahead and talk about Cyprus. I'm sorry, I got distracted. So Cyprus, Break a Broken Heart by Andrew Lambrou. Lyrical content.
Toxic relationship. Yay. Love it. Love it. Nobody can keep their love with them. It's always going to be some kind of interpersonal trauma. But you know what? Sometimes it makes for some great music.
Honestly, I'm looking at other songs we haven't talked about yet. Looks like we've got 3 songs in here that are legitimately just crappy relationships. Like we need to separate you two. That's what's happening here. It's like, just break up. Just please. Like, I need you to not.
There isn't a lot to it. I mean, there are some very light metaphors, as in like, oh, I miss your kiss, gasoline, and a matchstick. But then that metaphor ends in that line, red light flashes rising from the ashes. And then that's where the metaphor ends.
Honestly, I would say let's compare this to Italy. Like, lyrically speaking, they're about the same thing. The song is about the same topic. However, Italy goes through and gives you more.
It's a story.
This one is so generic. There's not really any elements in it that feel unique to anyone. It just exists. It's like anyone can say these lines. It's like there's nothing. And like I feel there's just lyrically this isn't, and it's in English, so I can understand it all as it's happening. And I don't have to look it up. I'm just like, yeah, no.
And there aren't a ton of lyrics either.
No, there aren't.
Like, but you know what, there's quite a bit of repetition in this song. Quite a bit.
And I'm going to use that as a transition to projection and genre. You know what it does have? A lot of long, high notes.
Ooh, yeah, a lot of
Um,
very challenging long high notes. It feels like every chorus has it.
it's like, yeah, no, every chorus does have it. Um, but with the production and genre, it sounds, I swear, the vocal melody sounds like Radioactive by Imagine Dragons.
Oh my gosh, it
When it
does.
comes on, that's all I hear. And
Oh
like
wow.
that
Ugh,
song
why
came
did
out
you
what in
mention that?
2013? 20 That song's like 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it does. I feel like I'm about to put on like a snapback that says YOLO on it. Like that's
Mm,
where we are right now.
yeah.
Um, the production and genre. So this, yeah, it has kind of an Imagine Dragonsiness to it. The fact that he is going up into these long high notes, I feel like the note itself complements the instrumentation very
Yeah.
well. The note itself, like these high notes, they illustrate a good melody. It is very questionable though, because having that same note repeated throughout, that is going to get very exhausting vocally for any vocalist.
Yep.
Not just Andrew. Literally any vocalist trying
Yep.
to attack this song will have trouble
Mhm.
with it because it's just belting, belting, belting. And
Mhm.
for lyrics that aren't that aren't the best.
No, like literally, if that is off by even a semitone, the instrumental is gonna sound horrible. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna fall
Hmm.
apart.
Hmm.
Um, if you can't hit those notes as high as they are, bring it down an octave. I'd rather you just bring it down an octave and then not have to
Hmm.
deal with like the dissonance.
Yeah.
Um, because I do like dissonance in music, but if it's like dissonance on purpose, oh yeah. If it's dissonance on accident, I'm like,
Yeah. Mhm. See, Dissonance on Purpose, we can look at songs like Future Lover, because that chorus is
mhm.
intentionally dissonant. This one, it's intentionally consonant, but one semitone off, and the entire thing can be like completely thrown asunder. And that's it. It's kind of it sets too high of an expectation, I would say.
Yeah. How about unique elements?
Um, Long high notes from a man,
I wrote in my note,
Andrew's dangly earrings.
I do like the dangly earrings.
Me too.
No, you can't read it. I can't
I
make it
can't
'cause I'm
read it.
not close
No.
enough.
What's it
It
say?
said N-A, not applicable.
Ma'am. Ma'am. Throw him a bone. Throw him a bone.
Okay. Anyways,
Anyway.
how well can it be performed live? We
No
don't
clue.
know. And as we've already
Andrew's
stated,
an okay vocalist. Andrew's okay as a singer.
I'm sorry. Uh, those high notes. I remember him live at Australia Decides last year,
He sang most of that song kind of well.
but
Electrify, though,
he didn't have a bunch of long high notes to sing though.
he really didn't. He
I
really
honestly
didn't.
I'm rooting for you, Andrew. If you can like pull this off live, I love that for you.
I would very
Congratulations.
happily eat my words. Exactly.
I'm worried. I'm
Hmm.
so worried because
Hmm.
like I'm looking at the way this is written and I'm scared for him.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, like
I'd say
I
that's like the prevailing sentiment. It's just this overwhelming fear that he's not going to be able to hit every single note exactly just because of how unnecessarily demanding this song is. Unnecessarily demanding. It's like, damn, is that deep?
yeah.
Is that deep?
Well, I'm looking at who the songwriters are and I'm like,
And tell me about the songwriters.
they're Swedish.
Oh, wow. I'm so surprised. They're from
Actually,
Sweden?
no, one of Lorene's songwriters is on this one.
Mm.
Um,
Huh. Well, I mean,
yeah.
it's a
Anyways,
short walk from one camp to another in the Eurovision
yeah.
songwriting sphere.
And then would we stream this?
Nope.
Mhm.
Uh-uh.
No.
Thank you,
No.
Andrew. Best of luck, and we look forward to you hitting those notes.
Comments. Carmen says, When I hear Andrew's song, I'm immediately reminded of how good he looks. Moms will vote for him, and he will if he will sing good live.
Carmen,
You know what?
You just exposed all of us. You exposed every single one of us.
Honestly, if he can get the European wine mom vote, more power to him.
Yeah, because
They can just, especially with the music video, he's in the pool. I can already see wine mom imagining that he's their pool boy, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give him some love by voting for him.
In the semifinal, though, he's gonna have some competition with the wine moms when he gets to Marco, but
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're different. They both do appeal to the wine mom.
I feel like Marco is more of like a Cabernet and Zinfandel wine mom, and Andrew is definitely more of like a Chardonnay and Prosecco kind of wine mom.
Andrew is the wine mom who has a live, laugh, love decor.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Like white wine sangrias. And
Marco is the wine mom who used to have the kitchen. Like, remember like that rustic kitchen style from like the early 2000s? Yeah.
Yeah, I call it stomp, clap, hey, hella mason jars, string lights,
No, not stomp, clap, hey. We're talking about two different things.
Okay.
There's like this, like my mother's kitchen. He appeals to my mother.
Oh, okay. And
Marco
I understand
is my mom's kind of wine mom. Yeah.
It's the difference between red wine and white wine, guys. I'm telling you that's going to be where the line is drawn.
Yeah, and my mom's a red wine girl.
That makes sense. That makes quite a bit of sense, actually.
I know. Vanya.
We've gone down the rabbit hole with wine moms. I'm a wine mom, okay? And I work at a bar. I serve wine moms their wine. I spend my whole life around wine right now.
I'm sorry. No, I'm just thinking here. I'm like, here's the thing. We need to remember the wine moms have a strong voting block.
Have a huge vote because there's almost a wine mom in every household that's voting within Europe.
Like I'm telling, like this, the wine mom vote. We cannot forget about. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how Victor, what's his name, got through. Victor Krona.
Oh,
he had the wine mom contention.
Yeah.
Last year.
Who? Ukasaviste.
Ukasaviste. He ruled the wine moms. The wine moms didn't come out for him though, but they did come out for who did Esteban send last year again? What's his name?
Stefan.
Stefan had the wine mom vote on lock. It seems like the wine moms have transitioned from. They're going to be going from Estonia to Cyprus. I think that Cyprus is a more conducive country to wine mom behavior.
Yeah. And if he really banks on kind of the wine mom vote, could qualify and potentially do relatively well in the final. Wine mom power incoming. Do not underestimate the wine mom vote. It is massive.
It really, truly is. And we should all fear the wine moms.
Yep, exactly.
One day they will rebel.
All right, okay. From Cyprus, we move on to their favorite neighbor, and according to some, their only neighbor, Greece.
I mean, yeah. So we have Greece with the song "What They Say" by Victor Vernicos. Vernicos. I'm over here struggling. Victor Vernicos, right? So Victor Vernicos. Now we have Greece with the song "What They Say" by Victor Vernicos. All right.
All right. So before we talk about lyrics, I actually do want to highlight some lyrics. So the way the last chorus in the song goes, you guys, is, well, you know what they say, the lost souls make sure no one loses their way. Hurt ones can't stand seeing others in pain. Oh, I'm both now. I got too much on my plate, and I save all the others because for me it's too late. I think he's a poet. I think Mr. Victor Vernicos, despite being 16 years old, could be a poetic genius. Could be. In English, in one of the most complicated, pointless languages ever. He's writing this well.
I have to keep defending English to you, and I really think I need to.
I'm a defender of the English language. The English language is like actually my career, and I hate it. Like, I will roast this language all day, no
It's a
matter
stupid
what.
language, but, like,
It's
we're too
dumb.
harsh on it. Right. So, I do say there is a lot of, like, he has a good poetic ear.
Mhm,
He's good at songwriting. There's some good, like, wordplay happening here,
mhm.
but I don't know what this is about.
No, I have no clue.
I don't know. Like, on what I think it's a self-empowerment song about dealing with self-doubt and dealing with your anxieties about, like,
Mhm,
just, like, it's very, like, personal like that.
mhm.
But then there's also some lines where I'm like, "Is this a breakup song? Like, what is happening here?" I
For me, like, the perspective I got is just, I'm not the only one who feels lost, and I'm
Okay.
going to help other people who feel that way because it's something that I've been through.
Like, maybe finding your passions?
Maybe, yeah. It's very
Okay.
open. It's very
Which is
open in terms of meaning.
yeah, like, and that works for me at the same time,
Mhm.
like, you can
Yeah.
look at that and you can derive whatever your meaning is from it, personally.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
It's not like he's gonna stand here like a unicorn. Like, despite the fact that we don't have a clear definition of what these
Mhm.
lyrics are trying to say, it's still very nice, and they still play into each other well enough where it doesn't feel like it's about nothing.
Yeah. I think that that works. Like, it's one of those ones where I'm not sure what exactly it's about.
Mhm,
And it kind of is open to interpretation, so you can kind of put your own feelings on it. I think the feelings I'm personally getting from this are self-empowerment
mhm.
and, like,
Definitely, yeah.
trying to overcome your own self-doubts.
And no, yeah, I definitely pick up on that, and being at his age, 16, there's a lot of self-doubt within that kind of age frame, and for it to be addressed so well with the kind of,
Mhm.
way that he writes, it was very well done. Like, from a lyrical perspective, just analyzing the lyrics, I do think this is a very expertly crafted piece. And once again, I know I keep saying this, but he's so young to be writing this
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
Now, all of our praise that we have for lyrical content, I mean, do you have anything else to say about the lyrics?
No.
Okay. Um,
Production and genre. If we can move on to production and genre, this song, how would we say this? Okay, the rhythm is quite fast-paced. The melody isn't as strong as the rhythm, I would say. There's still a significant melody there, but, it's kind of like an acoustic pop, mid-tempo self-empowerment anthem. I don't know, like, it straddles a lot of gray areas. In my
um,
opinion.
for me with production and genre, it's an acoustic guitar driven song.
Mhm, mhm.
We've gone over this before. It's not a genre for me. And there's not really anything with the music. Like, there are songs that use acoustic guitar that I really love.
Yeah.
I could name drop some of them, but y'all have never heard of them. Um, and there's nothing about this song that has any elements within that acoustic guitar driven music that stand out to me in a unique way that would make
Mhm,
me want to seek it out.
mhm,
It's just like this is not a genre for me, but I can appreciate like that's I'm kind of torn on this one because it's like lyrically I'm into this.
mhm.
And I think that Victor has a great voice, but like just it's a genre that's not my personal favorite.
Yeah.
And like he's already starting at a negative point. He has to get up to zero for me to enjoy it from a production and genre standpoint, if that makes sense.
I can see that. Kind of using this part of the conversation to transition into unique elements, there is something within the production that I do feel like is establishing uniqueness within the song, but I also really dislike. It's the fact that it becomes suddenly kind of a soul anthem, like towards the end of it. I get kind of like a gospel like stomp, clapness to it, like at the very end with the same melody, with the same lyrics. I feel like it's kind of forced. It's unique though. It is quite unique, the fact that it has kind of like a churchy feel towards the end of it. I don't like how that was executed though. And
Mhm.
I really like the genre of like soul, gospel. When it's done well, I love it. It tends to be some of my favorite stuff. I do not consider it done well here, but it does make the song unique.
I think for me when I wrote unique elements, the structure is different. Usually when you're looking at a pop song, your structure is going to be verse, chorus, verse, chorus, or like verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, kind of like a structure wise.
Yeah.
This doesn't do this. This goes verse, chorus instead. Which I think that does make it unique in a way that it's just a structure we don't see very often. I'm trying to think, is there any other, maybe A Marsch plus Deutsch is the last time we had a song that didn't hit that didn't do didn't do the classic verse, chorus, verse structure.
That seems right. I would need to fact check, or I mean, we would need to fact check, but at the same time, yeah, that does kind of give it like a good unique build to it.
Yeah, and it's like it saves the chorus. You know, the chorus is repeated 3 times in the song. It saves the chorus in a way that like lets it build anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think as we're talking about this song, I'm finding there's more stuff I like about it, but it's just like I just don't like the guys with acoustic guitars.
Hey, I mean, like,
and that's a me problem. I fully admit that's a me problem. But yeah.
For me, it can be kind of hit or miss, but this one's growing on me. It's growing on me quite a bit, and I think it's because of how much I'm warming up to the lyrics.
Yeah. And then let's see about here. Now, how well can it be performed live?
No clue. No idea.
No idea. I do like his voice though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm like talking myself into this. And then would we stream it? You know what? I said no before, but I'm at a maybe point now.
I am also at a maybe leaning yes. Maybe leaning yes, thinking, Victor.
I'm thinking if I listen to this like 3 more times, I'm gonna really be into it. I've only heard it maybe like 5 or 6 times right now. So like I'm just
we need time.
Growing on me.
April is our time to sit with the songs and just simmer.
Now will he get the teenage girl vote? Because we have to remember that's another the teenage block is another block we have to think about.
It's possible, but there are other contenders in the mix.
I think he maybe has the artsy teenager vote.
Okay.
Like the I'm not like other teenagers teenager vote.
The I'm friends with the English teacher kids.
Oh my God. I eat lunch in my English teacher's classroom.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. I'm with it. And honestly, I could see how that would turn out pretty well for him.
All right, I'm looking here. Lauren D says, hopefully he will elevate the staging and to fight for top 5. What is this? Oh, I don't think that was about Greece. Oops. 1 second here. Lauren D says, Greece can easily be killed with the running order.
Yes, it can.
And then says their biggest enemy this year. Yeah. If that running order is not in their favor and there's something around it that distracts,
it'll drown.
It will drown. It really will. Vanya Lubitsch says, people are disappointed it is not a Greek bop, but I'm glad Greece is branching out.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
I am too. I was a little disappointed last year when we first got Die Together because like this is what I want from Greece. But then it grew on me. I do like that we're kind of in this era where Greece is trying stuff that isn't like just a Greek bop.
Yeah.
Because at this point we haven't had a Greek bop in years. It's kind of been like Better Love, you know. They're going more artsy now.
Yeah, Greece is in their artsy stage. This year, it seems like they're kind of moving from artsy kind of more into popular, but it could work in their favor. I mean, like our predictions could be off.
I can see this kid trying out for like the musical.
Yeah.
Like
and getting number 1 supporting character.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah.
It's like yes, lesser male protagonist, but
Gosh.
what's the next point?
Let's go ahead. We're gonna go from Greece to talk about Denmark. The song is called "Breaking My Heart" by Reiley, and yeah.
Wow. Like, okay. So, how many songs have we talked about specifically today that are about toxic relationships where the 2 individuals within the dynamic need therapy?
No, I'm not going to say this is so teenagers like
you're right. You're right.
My younger sister telling me about her relationship problems. Like that's what this says. I don't want to hear it. I just like I'm an adult now. I'm 32. I'm not a teenager anymore.
I
Yeah.
think there are anywhere between 15 to 20 unique lines in this song. The lyrics don't try very hard to be anything else except just a couple words.
But
I mean,
like
I kind of guess it works for the kind of song it is, but at the same time, I want more.
it doesn't need to be more. It comes like this song. I here I am. I don't hate this song.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a Danish entry and I don't hate it, which is
Mhm,
amazing. Um because when I look at this, I just look at this as a perspective of like, this isn't for me. I'm
mhm,
too old for this.
mhm.
But if I ever feel like reliving my toxic teenage years, yes. Yes. You know what I mean? Like this is like everything. Because I remember my one sister who's also like older. Me and her were talking about how miserable it sounds like it was to date as like high schoolers.
Uh-huh.
And how much like it just had to absolutely suck to be like in a high school relationship and how like the thought of being in a high school relationship makes us miserable.
Cringe. No.
It's like it just this has all the cringiness of a crappy high school relationship.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mr. Reiley, he's in fact older than me. He's 26 years old. This is a very teen pop song.
The same
And we
age
can
as Lazara.
he's the same age as Lazara, and she could be his mother.
Lazara could be my mother because she's mother, but that's a whole
Lazara
other
is
thing.
my mother. But okay, production and genre. Moving on into the point that the lyrics are not trying to overpower the sound of the song. The production and genre, it's like bubblegummy teenage
Yeah.
boy pop. It kind of like I don't know if this is going to be inappropriate to say, but I kind of feel like I just started watching like a James Charles video. Like when I press play on it, it's just like there's something about it that's just like, "Hi sisters, I don't." It's like a je ne sais quoi about it that just feels very. I am an LGBT vlogger in Gen Z. Here are my promo shots.
I'm sorry, that seems harsh. I actually like the production and genre. It's so
It's
overly
good.
processed
It's
pop.
good. It's
And
good. It is polished. It is well crafted, but it
this is
is
like
so conveyor belt.
this is like the opposite of Grease for me,
Mm.
where I'm into Grease lyrically, but like genre wise, like not for me. Meanwhile, this one, I don't. The lyrics make me want to like
That's the
make
perfect
me
way to
get
compare.
like the lyrics give me hives, but like the song and how it sounds, if I'm not paying attention to the lyrics, I'm into.
Yeah.
Like I
It's just
really
like
like
this
the
has the
sound of
words
it.
"I'm strutting down the street, baby," and the rhythm is nice.
Yeah, like I wish I didn't speak English. That's what the song makes me feel
Mhm.
like. I
Oh,
wish I
if the
didn't speak
song were in
English.
Danish
Oh, how
or
lovely.
Faroese, like the fact that it's in English and we can understand just kind of the simple single syllable words in each of the lyrics. eh,
Yeah.
but you know what? Yeah, it sounds polished and it sounds very good, which is we don't necessarily get kind of like bubblegummy boy teen pop from Denmark. It's refreshing. It is refreshing.
Yeah. And then unique elements.
Um
This song makes me happy I'm not a teenager.
that's the unique No,
Like,
hold
oh
on.
man, I'm so
Let me
happy I'm not a
think. Let me
teenager
think.
anymore.
Like I can't react like that and have nothing better to say. Hold on. Talk about that while I come up with a unique element, please.
I just my issue is like when I hear this, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like it also there's not really anything quite like this year. We don't really have anything like that's going in
Mhm.
that bubblegum pop direction.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick up the teeny bopper vote, like
Yeah.
that tween vote between like 9 and like 13. He's got
Mhm.
that one on lock.
Mhm. I know my unique element. Okay, I feel like this is the only song this year where most of the song is up in the singer's register that's up here and not in the chest voice, you know?
Okay, like a falsetto.
Yeah, a lot of it's kind of like in the falsetto-y range and not necessarily in the chest range. I feel like that's kind of what sets it apart. A lot of it is kind of injected or like flicked rather into that range as it happens. Yeah.
All right. And then do we stream this?
No.
Oh no. Wait. 1 second. We didn't talk about this. How well can you perform live?
From the performance that I've seen, it didn't look like it was performed very well.
No, it wasn't. And I agree. And now do we stream this? I say yes, I do stream this.
I don't know why I was so quick to say no. When it's on, I don't skip it, but I do not seek it out.
I seek it out sometimes. I guess I'm just like a masochist at this point.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's see here. Looking at comments. Let's see here. All right. Gabrielle Greenwood says, I need more from Reiley vocally. He doesn't sound committed at times.
Yeah, he sings like Pink Panther is at that $250 gig. Like, it's not he doesn't seem quite 100% invested. At least in that performance, it didn't quite seem like he had it.
He uses auto-tune and Eurovision does not allow it. That is true. However, I am also one of those people who's like, I feel like Eurovision should let people use auto-tune at this point.
Yeah, well,
because
I mean, like,
here's the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you can't sing and you can't hit the notes, auto-tune isn't going to fix it.
Mm-mm.
Auto-tune can just add elements. Like the song does have a lot of processing on the vocal to make it sound like what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, and that's kind of like, it's like thinking about like T-Pain, where auto-tune is just don't laugh at me. Auto-tune is just an instrument. I feel like you can use auto-tune well, you can use auto-tune poorly.
Mm-hmm. It's a tool in the toolbox, but it's not a tool that Eurovision allows.
Yeah, and I feel like that I really think that we should Eurovision should let it come through at some point.
I do agree. I agree with you. Okay.
Okay, so
do we only
Peter
have...
Hodich says, I am a pop fan, but not a TikTok pop fan.
That's a way to describe it, Peter. Thank you. It's TikTok pop. It is TikTok pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
And then Giovanna Dutchlet. Sorry, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Giovanna. Giovanna Dotlick says, TikTok song, and I don't like TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, it's very TikTok. It's very geared for a social media platform. It feels like it could be 2 minutes in that regard as well.
And Mango says, desperately miss Linga Hair. I do too.
Gosh, Liga Hair. I feel like that was a million years ago. Wow.
If we had Liga Hair, we'd be talking about a Danish win. I'm sorry, Lorendi had me laughing because like Lorendi says, Lazar versus Reiley is so confusing. And then like she was born to drink gin and tonic and Reiley decided to stay with bubble gum and vodka plus Coca-Cola shots. And I'm just like, yep. Yep.
Eurovision, man. I swear.
It's also the lying about his age thing that I just like embrace.
What did he say? I was like a wood elf or something. Like he said some kind of weird thing about like I don't actually have an age. And it was like, huh?
I think he was saying he was 20 at one point, and then people did the math, and like the math's not mathing. And I'm gonna use that as a transition.
He lied?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that as a transition because another person who looks younger than he is. Is Luke Black for Serbia.
And another person with amazing skin, by the way.
Oh my gosh. It's like, honestly,
gorgeous skin.
If you're older, just say you're older. People get impressed. Like when people say, oh, your skin's so nice, I'm like, yeah, thanks, I'm 57. Like, I just lie about being older than I am. Because, like, it's more fun that way.
Yeah.
I think you're a vampire.
Samo me says spava, you guys. So Serbia. Luke Black is the singer. Samo me says spava is the title of the song, and the English translation to it is I just feel like sleeping.
Real quick, Luke Black is 30 or 31. He's gonna be 31 this year. He's a year younger than me.
Ugo, Luke Black looks 10 years younger than he is. He has a secret.
It's called
moisturizing and not tugging on your face too hard when you touch it.
Yeah. The song is Samo me says spava. How do we feel? Honestly, lyrically, like it's kind of big mood, even though like there's not like a lot of depth lyrically. It's like
this is like we don't have any songs about like sleep. I don't think we've had like an adequate song about sleep in Eurovision since Dors mon amour in 1956. 58.
This is like sleep as a metaphor. Any Americans, I'm going to use this word correctly. It's a song about being asleep versus being woke.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that term correctly, which is being aware of issues in the world and in society, and how like the system is going to keep you down, and the system is built to make it so you don't excel in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's anti whatever minority group you are part of, things in place to uphold the system. And like, honestly, I realized that when I was like 12, and it's exhausting. So I
Mm-hmm.
get a big mood feeling from this, because it's like, I would rather be asleep to what's happening around me rather than what's actually happening there.
Yeah. Wow, you articulated everything I said and added points to it. So very nice.
I'm
The lyrics
sorry.
the lyrics are very no, I love the lyrics. I love the fact that it switches into Serbian like to kind of highlight different parts of the acoustic aspects of the song too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Serbian parts of the song feel very different from the English parts. That is very well done. And he plays with the metaphor of sleep so nicely. That has never really been done before at Eurovision, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I mean,
Under
like,
the Ladder. No, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking, because like, staging wise, when you're looking at the performance, the stage is giving me dream pop Matrix.
Mhm.
And the Matrix is a metaphor about being trans. But like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like, it's kind
Yeah.
of got that same visual element like you get in the Matrix.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. I think that this is like, it lyrically, it's very simple. There's not a lot of metaphors there, but what it's
Mhm.
about, it conveys very well.
Mhm. Serbia is in an age where like their art pieces are they take a lot of understanding of art to like really truly appreciate. And this this is no exception. Oh my gosh. I could talk at
And
length
yeah,
about
like,
what makes this song unique. It's made of unique elements,
real quick,
honestly.
what Vanya Lubitsch says here, it's about wanting to sleep through the problems, but also wanting to wake up and realize what the problems are.
Mm,
That's true as well. Like, I have to,
mm,
like,
mhm.
it kind of balances there, where it's like, yeah, I'd rather be asleep, but I'm awake now. So let's all get together and fix the issues that we have systemically. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
Very well
Um,
written. It's a very well written track.
and then I'm sorry, I got distracted there. And then production and genre. Um, so there, it's giving me like a combination of new metal and Lady Gaga. A very, but
Mm.
like, specifically Lady Gaga, like, what album was Edge of Glory on?
Was that on Born This Way?
Yeah, it was Born This Way.
Okay.
It's giving me like Born This Way era Lady Gaga.
Mhm.
Um, but then like new metal, because I swear it sounds like Freak on a Leash mixed with Edge of Glory.
Oh, I with like a nice strut to it.
Well, have you
There's
ever,
a
do you know
strut.
Freak on a Leash? That
Not
may
a
be before
ton,
your
no.
time.
It might
It's
be
a
before
new
my
metal.
time.
It's a new metal song by a band called Korn.
Oh yeah, I know
Um,
Corn.
and there's scatting in it.
Hmm.
Like, there's a scat breakdown. And the scat makes the bullet stop from shooting a little kid in the head. Okay, you know what? This is a music video is iconic. Um, but like, yeah, it's very it's giving me like kind of like that combination sonically, and I'm into it.
Mhm.
Arvanya says for the Eurovision crowd, Lady Gaga. Vanya Lubitsch says for the Eurovision crowd, Lady Gaga meets Atari. Yep,
Yeah.
it
I
definitely has those
associate
industrial
I
bits.
associate Hatari, yeah, with that like strutty industrial kind of like metallic, but at the same time a little voguey kind of rhythm to it that is just so catchy and
Mhm.
so just kind of like powerful. It has kind of like the same rhythm as a heartbeat. And that I just think there are so many details within the production itself that just kind of making me reflect on how kind of an expert Luke Black is as a producer and the producers that he worked with to kind of establish this song. There are so many layers to the production of it that it's yeah, I feel like I'm still dissecting it to this day.
So that ties in really nicely to the unique elements, though, because the
Mhm.
whole song, like you said a few moments ago, the whole song is unique elements.
The whole project it is, yeah.
Like, there's nothing else that sounds like this at Eurovision.
Mm-mm. There's nothing
basically.
like it visually. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing conceptually. There's nothing like it in terms of the delivery or the choreography. The choreography is so epic. I love it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's made of unique elements. I feel like everything we named
Yeah.
is its unique element.
And then how well can be performed live?
Well,
Oh,
well,
and do
very
we
well.
stream it?
Yes,
And then I'm going to just pick up some comments
I
here.
sure do.
Because there is a comment from Gabriella Greenwood, which I agree with 100% here.
Hmm.
One critique, I wish, one critique, I want extra live vocal under Luke. It really, to really fill out the vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
underline what he says. Honestly, that would be my biggest critique about watching it at the
Mm-hmm.
national final, was that the backing vocals were on the backing track. I think a live backing vocal would really elevate this.
Yeah, it would because yeah, sometimes the production just like was a little bit too forward and his voice was a little too behind. So adding some backing track to that, I feel like could really give it some meat.
Right, Vanya Lubich says, the transition between English and Serbian works so well. It
They
really
do
does. It's
very, very
seamless.
well. Hmm.
It's absolutely seamless.
I just feel like it fits so well after Constructa to have Luke Black's entry. There's just kind of a handoff to that in terms of just like from one big concept artist to another big concept artist that I just love to see that transition.
Yeah. Lorendi says this sounds a little devilish at times.
Yeah, it does.
Agreed.
I love the action figure in the back too. Like that is it's just so metal to me. I love it.
I think I was on Twitter. He was talking about Chainsaw Man at one point. I'm just like,
Hmm.
wow, you're a nerd.
Oh my gosh. I
I need
want a
to add.
chainsaw. Now I want a chainsaw on stage. Can you imagine?
I'm sorry because it just you
Luke
said
Black.
chainsaw. It just made me think of like a bit of a tangent here for a second. So there's an anime and manga called Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And I remember somebody saying, like, seeing the cover for it and asking, "Oh, what's the series with the guy who has a chainsaw on his head called?" And someone's like, "Oh, that's Chainsaw Man," and they didn't believe it. They're like, "No, it's not." They're like, "No, it's literally called Chainsaw Man." Don't know what to tell you.
Mhm. Go
Um,
into your local manga store and ask about it, everyone.
or don't if you don't want to be miserable. It'll make you sad. Um, Lorendi says, "Truly outstanding entry. There are not even that many songs that can compare to him, and his biggest rival was Jan." Honestly,
Mm,
I'm not gonna lie, that's 100% true.
mhm.
Like if
There could have
Jan would
been
have made
conflict
it
there.
through,
There could have been conflict.
exactly.
Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't, uh, as fans of this song, be thankful Jan did not win in Poland.
Well, I mean,
Really.
Jan right now, his career is taking off just by virtue of
Oh yeah,
Gladiator
he's doing
alone.
great with
So
streams because
great. Amazing
Gladiator
job,
is
Jan.
doing very well in streaming in
Yeah.
Poland.
Uh-huh.
I'm just saying, like, from a competition standpoint, if you're like, love this one and you really want this one to do well, be glad that Jan got kicked out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. And then let's see here. So that is our thoughts about this one. And
Hmm.
that's everything, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that does look like everything.
Yeah. So
Um,
I don't know. Should I give you a little spoiler? I'm gonna give them a little spoiler
Give
about who we're
give a
talking
little
about next week.
spoiler because I mean, like for next week, we're completely switching up the category. It was male soloists this time. Who do we got next week?
I'm gonna just say the artist and they can come up with their own theme.
Okay.
So we're gonna be talking about Malta,
Hmm.
the Netherlands,
Yeah.
Ukraine,
Hmm.
Austria, and Azerbaijan. So you guys can figure out what the theme is next week.
Hmm.
If you figure it out, make yourself a cookie because I'm not sending you a cookie. Yeah. So that
And
was this week's stream.
vote in our polls. Make sure to check out the site. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like. It boosts us in the algorithm. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts. If we didn't talk about anything that you wanted to talk about, make sure to let us know, and we will want to talk to you.
And like, if you couldn't join us live, let us know what you guys think about the songs. Because like,
Hmm.
I honestly, I think something that kind of elevates a song for me is discussing it with other people.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us, Vanya Lubich. No, thank you for
Thank
joining our
you.
stream today.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much.
Everyone here.
We'll be back again next week and see you then.
All right.
Bye.
See you next